People, this is Nadir 130, the super group that is Games Music Life. Came back going to talk about this series that ended between the San Antonio Spurs and the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I'm recording this today. Now, the series actually ended a couple days ago because San Antonio actually played game one against Houston last night and got the brains beat out of them. They were down by 30 almost at half. So this is going to be after that stint. So I know that San Antonio has got an uphill battle against Houston, but I do think that they will be okay. Now between the series, back to the series between the Grizzlies and the Spurs, they went ahead. The Spurs won the series 4-2 and sent the Grizzlies home. So let's talk about the Grizzlies, man. What do they need? The Grizzlies, they, in my opinion, first of all, need to tie in what they're going to do this offseason. They're losing, they have free agents in Zach Randolph and Tony Allen. So that's two big cornerstones of their team, I should say, in the past. I do think the Grizzlies window is closed. They had a good run a couple years ago. They were actually pretty poised to go pretty far in the playoffs. They actually just lost. I forgot who they lost to. I don't fact check, so I don't talk about that. But I do think they have a bona fide star in Mike Conley. I think people name the top point guards in the league. They always forget about him, and I think he's definitely a good guard. Got a lot of criticism for making so much money, last year. Or this year, I should say, in the contract that he got. But hey, man, the money is made by the league. Somebody's got to earn it. So kudos to him. But going forward, where do they go, man? I do think that the Grizzlies could use a shooter. They could use somebody that could stretch the court other than Gasol, because Gasol, they started using him a lot shooting threes in the playoffs. He seemed pretty efficient, but I'd rather have him banging on the boards. Him and Zach Randolph. At some point, Zach got benched. In this series, I thought it would have been a pretty good one. I thought the teams actually matched up pretty well, but the Spurs and Kawhi, put the team on his back, and between Kawhi at one point it became the Kawhi versus Mike Conley show, and it was a pretty good series. But the games came on so late, I really get a chance to see them firsthand, other than highlights the next morning. But I do think that Mike Conley's tough, and I always like Kawhi. He's definitely tough. Now, with that being said, man, the Grizzlies, like I said, had a lot of loose ends to tie up with their own team to see what they're going to bring back or re-sign, and what free agents they can bring in to help them out. They are in the West, so it's going to be tough because eventually you're going to fight the buzzsaw, which is Golden State, and Pop and the boys in San Antonio aren't going anywhere anytime soon either. So we'll see what happens with them, man. So they went fishing. San Antonio moves on in the series. Now, San Antonio, they moved on. They're facing Houston, and like I said, we already saw game one. This is recorded after the fact. They got blown out at home versus Houston. Houston shot the lights out in that series, so we'll definitely talk about that series going on. More so when that ends. I'll do the same thing with that one, so I don't want to get too much into that matchup. I do think it's going to go a long series. San Antonio's got a lot of fight in them. In this series against the Grizzlies, one thing that stood out to me was what happened to DeMarcus Aldridge, man. I mean, this guy, I don't know if he forgot how to play or what happened, but it just seemed like his confidence was down. Maybe he's not fitting the offense well. He was brought in to replace Tim Duncan, and I don't know if, what exactly happened with him, but it just seems weird, man. It seems kind of eerie, like what in the world happened with DeMarcus Aldridge. Now, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see, because he was out there just blending in. Like I said, I called him Dwight Howard light, because that's what it reminded me of. Just somebody just blending in out there, not showing any dominance at all. Whereas when he was with Portland, he gave him everything he could handle. And last year in the playoffs, he gave him everything. Just couldn't get past Golden State. But nonetheless, I think that San Antonio is okay. I think if they can get another player to step up. Tony Parker actually played well in the closeout game against the Grizzlies and matched Conley. I think he gave him 27 in that game. So he actually shown that he can still play. He's been in the league for a while. So he's got a lot of minutes on those legs. We'll see what happens in this series against Houston, because he's definitely going to be telling, and see what happens in that one and see if he can step up in that. But I think San Antonio's going to be well. They're okay. They're well coached. Pop is going to be Pop. The team is going to be okay. They're going to go back and watch the film and just get ready to play in this next series. So we'll come back and I'll do a video once that series ends. So, so with the Grizzlies being out of there, man, I think that their window is closed. They're going fishing. San Antonio moves on. And that was my take on it, man. So this is Nadir, 1/3 of the super group that's Games Music Life. Drink more water, people. Peace.